Hello, welcome to the SSGTV South Sudan Global, and remember to hit the subscribe button below this video. South Sudan Embassy in Kenya padlocked over unpaid rent arrears. The South Sudan Embassy in Nairobi, Kenya was reportedly closed on Thursday because of outstanding rent payments. The landlord unapologetically locked the offices and left with the keys, the report says. South Sudanese students who visited the embassy on Thursday seeking services found it closed, with a notice pinned to the gate of the embassy. Remember, this is not the only embassy facing this sort of embarrassment. South Sudan embassies purportedly closed due to outstanding rent arrears and operational challenges include, but are not limited to, Kenya, Italy, Germany, Norway, Ethiopia, the USA, Egypt, China, and France. Those reportedly served with eviction notices comprise, but are not limited to, the ones in New York, Uganda, Congo, Tanzania, Nigeria, and India. Diplomats have gone for years without a salary. For instance, the diplomat in Rome was evicted simply because the government had not paid his salary and allowances. Diplomats have all the time committed to the government and cannot have another spare time to look for money and cater for their families. Though we are yet to reach out to the former Chief of General Staff of the Sudan People's Liberation Army, SPLA, General Paul Malong Awan Anei, founder and chairperson of the South Sudan United Front/Army, SSUF/A, based in Nairobi. It was reported that he has offered one of his mansions as accommodation to the South Sudan Embassy in Nairobi, which was closed on Friday by the Kenyan landlord. These are telltale signs of a collapsing regime. When a regime collapses, there is no better manifestation than this. What other embarrassing things do people expect to happen again in order to conclude that this government has become so useless? Now, do we believe this scenario concerns this government? No, it does not bother them since they are not subject to embarrassment. It is the norm. As long as President Salva Kiir Mayardit wakes up each morning and finds himself in the State House, J1, with his cowboy hat on, then it's all well for the country. We know that South Sudanese are bewildered by such a report. However, our neighbors in the region should know that South Sudanese are great people, but a bad government has brought such embarrassment upon them. But no problem. It's said that regimes come and go. In the East African region, South Sudanese from all walks of life at a household level manage to pay their rent, while the government responsible for oil proceeds and public coffers allows embassies to be closed due to arrears. It's so regrettable that the government of the day failed to demonstrate sufficient acumen to establish permanent embassy premises in countries within the EAC and beyond. Why not acquire or purchase its own premises all this time? What was their intention? Attempts to reach the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation in Juba and the head of embassy in Kenya, Anthony Kon, to offer us an explanation on what transpired have proven futile. The ministry has not yet commented on the matter. Now is not the time to keep pointing out things that are amiss with this government. Rather, it's time to think of how to change it altogether. So the question is, how do we change this current government? What do you think? Let's know your thoughts in the comment section. Remember to subscribe to the SSGTV South Sudan Global